Hello, 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 internet world. My name is Mario Miguel Orallo-Molinaro, and my pronouns are he, him. And I am the host of The Talk, Vulnerable, Awkward, and Fun Conversations. Today, our episode that we will be exploring together is best friends, good mates, partners in crime. I'm so excited. Thank you all for tuning in, for being here on this Easter weekend Saturday. It's Saturday. Yeah, real talk. And so let us start this episode with a quote. If you live to be 100, I hope to live to be 100 minus one day, so I never have to live without you. Winnie the Pooh. So the reason why I brought that up is when I think about best friends or good mates, I literally did what anybody does, and I Googled what it is. And that was a quote that came up, and I thought that was just super delightful and super fun. So we have two amazing best friend pairs here, kind of exploring their friendships, exploring together here at Jet City's The Talk. So let us begin. We have our first pair, Linnea and Chessa. Hello, Linnea and Chessa. How are you?
Hello.
Oh, excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here too. Can you all just kind of briefly introduce yourselves? Maybe where you're living right now, pronouns, and also the most important question, maybe after y'all introduce, is how did y'all meet? So Linnea, why don't you? Oh, Chessa, please, Chessa.
Hi, my name is Chessa. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am currently living in Washington, D.C., otherwise known as the land of the Manahoke tribe. Was I supposed to say another thing? Linnea, you go.
I am Linnea. Hello. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm on Duwamish land, also known as Seattle. I'm in Capitol Hill. It's a lovely, great evening here tonight. And that's who and where I am.
I love that. I guess, I don't know who wants to go first, but how did y'all meet? And how did y'all become, quote, best friends?
First day I saw Chessa.
It was a stormy night.
It was a stormy night. I was an eager little 18-year-old auditioning for my first show at Western Washington University, specifically Fairhaven Theater Company, founded by someone else on this call.
Hello.
Named Mario.
And Chessa was the stage manager for that show, and I cannot tell you just how fucking cool she looked. She had her glasses. She had her chic baggy sweater. She was like the epitome of cool college girl. And this is my first week of college, and I'm like, oh my god, that's cool college girl. She's literally the coolest person in the world. You had your cool necklace, and you took care of everyone. It was the best moment of my life. So
I'm just laughing at how you're just describing how I look now. I've just been wearing baggy things and glasses for 11 years.
You make it look good.
I remember, it's so funny that you think that was so cool, because I was not at all. I was also I feel like you described me as I was this mature older woman, and I'm like a year older than you. I was 19 and you were 18 and you were like, what a woman. My first memory of you, I think, is in the dining hall at Western, one of the infamous theater gatherings where there was a bunch of people sitting at a very long table. We were eating French toast sticks or something, and we were chatting up a storm, and then became friends, and then best friends, and then lived together for a very long time.
I did not know that was your first memory of meeting me. This is
I think so. Maybe pre the really traumatic experience of that college theater connection.
Yeah, you really held it down for us.
Well, it's so lovely to meet both of you. Let's just cheers. Cheers to both of y'all. Welcome. Welcome to the space. Cheers. We are keeping this show moving, y'all. Let us welcome our second pair here, Amanda and Jasmine. Hello, Amanda and Jasmine. How are you?
Hello.
How are things? Why don't y'all do a brief intro of yourselves with some pronouns and, of course, where you are right now in the world?
Well, I'm in the more boring location, so I'll start out. I'm Amanda. I use she, her pronouns. I'm also on Duwamish land. And that was the end of that part of the introduction, Jasmine.
My name is Jasmine. I use she, her pronouns. I am currently in Ireland, which is the land of the Irish.
So we just acknowledged that Jasmine's in Ireland right now, so this is the first talk international show coming down like blah, 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 blah.
Reaching worldwide audiences.
Reaching the World Wide Web. So chat with me about, I guess, Amanda, you can go first. How did you all first meet? When did you all first meet? How did you become best friends?
Well, Jasmine and I met sitting next to each other in ceramic class in, I believe, 7th grade. And I think what attracted me to Jasmine as a best friend originally was just how aggressively she would wedge her clay. I knew that I needed to be close to somebody who could abuse a piece of earth in that way.
And neither of us were cool. Neither of us were cool.
Of course, that all changed once we reached adulthood.
Yeah.
Well, lovely. Well, again, cheers. Welcome to the space. It's good to have all of you. Welcome, welcome. We're just going to be drinking the whole time, y'all. Cheers. And of course, we could not do the talk or quite a few of our amazing Jet City Improv shows without the amazing Odessa as our broadcaster. So send some love to Odessa for doing an amazing job. And welcome to everyone on our Twitch channel, our Facebook, and YouTube. We are so excited to have y'all here as we start asking some crazy questions. So here are sort of the rules as we kind of begin. There's going to be a number of different rounds where I have some amazing cards that I'll be pulling to ask some questions. It could be, for instance, what advice do I need but don't want to hear? And then it kind of goes from, one person, one pair to the other. And then after that round, we all cheers together. If at any moment the folks on are like, yo, this is real talk. This is too real for me. I'm not trying to break this friendship up, or that was a long time ago. I don't want to get into it. You can drink. They can drink at any time to pass the question along. And then, of course, as we sort of get into round like 3 or 4, we're going to go to you, the audience, so Twitch, over there to see what questions you have for our entire group to ask. So get those questions astirring. And of course, if you feel inclined to do, please donate to jetcityimprov.org. We would always love your love and support as we do this. So here we go. Let us start. Round number 1, Chessa and Linnea. Linnea, here we go. This is your first question of Chessa. I'm going to be DMing you. I'm going to be signing up in your DMs here, Linnea. Boom.
Chestnut. Honestly, what was your first reaction of me?
My first reaction of you. Like my first impression.
Sure.
Is that
Yeah.
Just like a little bubble of joy. Like just the most little way I just remember you. I mean, you're like a petite person anyway, but I just remember you being at this little package, just emanating so much like joy and kindness. You're just a very like light and bubbly and beautiful human. I do remember that your hair was very high. I do remember being like, that girl's hair is big.
I was still teasing my hair up so fucking.
I remember there might have been a giant flower in it.
I was giant flower and like teased scene kind of deal going on still. Leftovers from high school that didn't quite go away yet.
Definitely.
Yeah. Can you give
Big
us a
hair
little
and a
bit?
big heart.
Okay. Hey, can you give us a little level of like the hair? Was it like, you know,
It was
uh,
noticeable.
you know, Tina Turner hair, you know, woo? Or was it like,
Here, but it was like, I mean, I remember somebody in high school once was like, oh my God, I never realized how big your head is. And I was like, oh no, I've overdone it. Yeah, I still had the remnants of seeing Linnea, for sure.
I'm getting a private DM. Hold on, I'm getting another question. It's the same question. Linnea, what was your first reaction to me?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I said before too that like you were just like dripping coolness off of you, like like that, just like you. And also, so there was like two things going on. One, that you're dripping coolness, like you were leaking it out of your pores, and two, just like kindness. Like, you know how sometimes people are like popular and you're like, oh my gosh, they're so popular, what the heck? And you're like, and then you meet them and you're like, oh shit, you're actually like a phenomenal human being and like so genuine and such a good, like radiating golden heart. So that was my impression of you. Yeah. And you were also like, you got our backs, right? With that first show we did together, which was very cool of you. Thank you.
awesome. Well, bingo bango. We're full of joy and full of hope in the beginning of first round of the talk. And thanks for everyone in the Twitch who's commenting on the chat. We see you, and we have some friends in the group here, which is really cool. Okay, Amanda, Jasmine, here we go. You might know that it could be the same question. Amanda or Jasmine?
All right. Honestly, Jasmine, what? And Jasmine, I have to say, before we get into this, that was really sweet, and we gotta bring it right now. So I just gotta preface it with that. What was your first reaction of me?
My first reaction of you, I thought that you were really weird. And that was what first attracted me to you, was your strangeness. I thought, wow, this girl really, really likes Lord of the Rings. We both had kind of a similar sort of like Q-tip kind of hairstyle going on as well.
Yes. I know
Yeah.
that, but we really had the Q-tip thing going on. Yeah.
But I liked that I felt like I could be myself around you because you were weird like me. And I was like, there's like, and also like a level of like, you know, she's sweet and she's smart, but I could tell that underneath that surface there was some dark twistiness, and I was like, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna find it, and we're gonna, yeah. And we did. Oh boy, did we.
Yes.
So that, yeah.
I love that. Jasmine, bingo bango. DMing you right now.
So Amanda, what was your first impression of me?
Truly, my first like memory of you is just being in pain from laughing so hard. I think you just struck me as sort of incomprehensibly funny.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and I now understand that sense, that kind of like forged steel sense of humor was built through, you know, great trauma, and I really appreciate the creativity that you bring to the world, and that you share with me through that fire. And I think that's still one of the best things about you.
Oh, I love this. This is so gushy and kind. We have a question in the Twitter feeds. What can you describe a Q-tip hair?
It's very similar to the kind of like Karen hairstyle, but with less of a harsh bang. It's very like just a very round. It's like when you go to your mom's hairdresser and you're like, I want a cute pixie cut, and she's like, I'll do my best.
Okay, you want to know where mine came from? And I would say it looked approximately like this. Mine was, what if I was a hobbit? Can I make my hair look like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings? The wig that they're wearing, can I create that on my head? And the answer was no.
No, it was. You were so hobbity. It's adorable.
Like, middle school is a time where you start trying things on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does not work.
Yeah, but you keep doing it.
It really worked for you, though. You rock a good Q-tip.
I love that. And that question was from Paige Pancake 7. So
hey, Paige.
Hey, Paige Pancake 7. Thank you for that awesome question. All right, that was round 1, y'all. Cheers together. Yeah, cheers for round 1. Now on to round 2. Linnea and Chessa. This is kind of a general question for both of you as I kind of do it together. But Linnea, if you would like to read it, that would be awesome. And I also know you two, so I know this question. What is this?
What is or would be the worst thing about having me as a travel companion? Wait, having you, Mario, as a travel companion? Or I'm asking Chessa.
Yeah, you're asking Chessa. You're not asking me. I don't travel a whole lot. I'm trying to get home. I'm trying to stay home. Yeah, so Chessa, what is or would be the worst thing about having Linnea as a travel companion?
I'm trying to just collect. First of all, I don't want to be gushy I just want to say that Linnea, I have traveled with Linnea extensively and in very stressful situations. She's a great travel companion. I would travel with her anywhere. We went to Africa together and we're in some pretty stressful situations. And I'm trying to remember what the worst thing about traveling then was. Like, probably that we have the same off switch when we're too stressed or too hungry or too tired. And so I think that, like, we're both as useless as each other. So we get to a point where, like, no one can help. I'm thinking of a time where we were on a bus for a very long time and there was a flood and we were very hungry and tired. And we just, like, both turned off entirely, but we still had to, like, navigate things around us. And we made it home, but, like, we couldn't do it very well. I think because we both have the same, like point where we can't do it anymore. And so we're just like two little useless sacks of skin, I think, at the same exact time. We have the same off switch, I think. We're not like a yin and yang in that way. Like, it's not like, yeah. So I feel like that's probably the worst thing about having Linnea as a travel companion, is that once I'm done, she's done, and we're like, well, we're in the middle of this place, and we need to get to the next place.
We have to keep being alive.
We gotta eat. Gotta make it to the place where we sleep.
Yeah.
I just want to quote this for the talk. 2 little sacks of skin.
We're just 2 little sacks of skin.
That's real talk. Chessa to Linnea, same question.
Yeah, I mean, the first image I thought of was like, I think we like had a place to stay, but then we were like, there's like, I think we like were staying in the same room and we just kept like giggling instead of going to sleep. And we like couldn't go to sleep because we just kept laughing, which is not really a problem. But probably similar in that, like, we both want to like accommodate the other all the time. And so we're like, what do you want to do? No, I want to do what you want to do. And that happens for a while.
Yeah, and then half the day's gone and we're like, well, we haven't done anything because we're too eager to please the other person.
Yeah.
That's some real talk. And we got some people in the Twitter feed being like, Africa, what was the craziest stressful, and maybe one funny situation or a stressful situation that you can think of? Where you're like, dang, this is where maybe, you know, we were hangry a little bit, maybe maybe like, wow, this is some real talk right now.
I mean, that bus ride was longer than, it was supposed to be, I think, like 2 or 3 hours, but there was a bunch of flooding. And so it was like maybe a 10 or 12 hour journey. And we did not have enough food. But we did come up with Chessa did come up with the idea of the storytelling project that we now run. So something did come good.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of when we ran out of money, and so we needed to ride on random people's motorcycles to another town, and then we decided to have them drop us off at Lake Kivu, and that was very magical sitting at that lake, but then we didn't know if they were coming back, and I remember that being like, we might be stranded.
We could be. But
they did come back eventually. It was touch and go there for a while, and we didn't have their numbers. Like, it was I feel like we didn't really know what was going, but
I think that's when I found out you can't withdraw money from a credit card.
Yeah, there was a time where we had no money and we're also stranded in the middle of nowhere in a very beautiful place. But it worked out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're still here.
That's some real talk. Well, thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. And of course, you know, the storytelling that Paige Pancake 7 once again is ideas and comments careful. Like, she is fierce. There's some random love for both of you, wonderful producers of that. I just want to give some love for She is Fierce. Hashtag She is Fierce. Check out Instagram, Facebook. All right, Amanda, Jasmine. Amanda, this question is for Jasmine, but you're going to be reading it. Ready?
I can't wait to read this question. Oh man, what's the meanest thing you've seen me do?
Mean. Amanda is only ever mean for a good reason.
That's a good cover. I love that.
Yeah, that's a very good cover.
Okay.
What's the meanest thing I've ever seen you do? Well, the first story that comes to mind, I don't know if this really counts as mean, but we were at a New Year's party and we were outside and we see this woman like run out the door of this house and she's like, no, don't touch me, stop. And this man is like grabbing at her, like, get back over here. And Amanda throws her body in the doorway and she's like, no, you are not chasing this girl, no. And he's like, that's my girlfriend, who do you think you are? And she goes, I'm Amanda fucking Keogh. And it was just like this epic moment where I was just like, yeah, she is. That's Amanda fucking Keogh.
It seemed like a really, I mean, he was asking, so I told him.
Yeah. Oh man, it was maybe not mean, but like it was fierce for sure.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
lovely. Amanda or Jasmine, same question for Amanda.
I feel like you might have a little more fuel. What is the meanest thing you've ever seen me do?
Okay, similarly, I had a little time to think about it. Okay, this similarly not mean. Weirdly parallel circumstance, maybe? But in this case, I was the woman running out of the house. Actually, okay, so this statement is a little bit X-rated, so I'm gonna try and censor it a little bit.
Don't. Why would you?
Ryan, how blue can we get?
Oh, you already started creating the path. Let's just go through the.
Okay. All right. It's your theater. So we were in a bar, and there was a very inebriated gentleman who would not leave me alone, and he kept kind of sidling up next to me and like groping me a little bit, and then he kind of fade away and then come. And he just kept, and I kept trying to kind of get rid of him, and I wouldn't. And finally, Jasmine gets in his face and goes, "That pussy is mine, and it tastes like honey, so I'm gonna need you to back off." And he just goes, "Sorry, I didn't know you were with someone," and leaves the bar. Like, doesn't just leave me alone, just like exits the entire bar.
Oh, wow.
Told you, I asked.
I just kind of respect that.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, get yourself a friend who has a wit like that. It will serve you.
What is the guy? He's just like, oh.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing because nothing I said was going to change his mind. But as soon as I was committed to someone, then he was like perfectly willing to respect that boundary.
This woman is claimed.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Nothing about like
you.
Yeah. And it didn't even require like a man to do it, which I really appreciate about him as well. That he was open-minded enough to kind of consider your claim on me as well.
Dang, y'all, that was epic. Well, that's round 2. We're getting here. Round 2, everybody. Let's cheers that up. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Wow, round 2. That pussy being honey. Oh my god. That is just, oh my goodness. I can't believe that. Well, we are on round 2, everybody, of the talk. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. I'm seeing the chat blowing up. If you have questions, start preparing those questions for our later rounds. And of course, big love to Jet City Improv for hosting this. So we're on to round 3. Here we go. Questions start getting a little deeper. All right, and this is for Chessa for Linnea.
What problem do I think I'm successfully hiding from everyone, but is actually completely obvious?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I feel like you're very, very open with anything that you're like, I'm struggling with this, or whatever it is. That's a really hard question.
Yeah.
Wait, give me some more prompts. Okay.
What problems do you think I'm successfully hiding from everyone, but is like, you know, is Chessa somebody that if, you know, she's in pain, is she gonna walk it off and be like, I'm fine, everything's good, or is she gonna be like, I'm in pain right now?
Oh man, I think here's the thing too about Chessa is that like she'll be like, I'm not doing well, but I'm still gonna treat you like a human being with respect and tell you that you're worthy of love, even though I feel like shit. Like that is the thing about Chessa, which is not very juicy information. What, Chessa, what problems are you hiding? And then I'll let you know.
Then you'll let me know if I'm successfully hiding them or if...
Yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly hiding all of my problems, just buried deep in there. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you think that's a drinkable moment? Or do you have an answer?
Oh, I think I'll drink.
Hey!
In honor of Chessa, being so open about anything she's struggling with.
No, I will personally say, as someone that knows Chessa, you're pretty upfront about your stuff, which is really great. I love that.
Yeah, I feel like there's also 3 people on this call who know me super well, so I felt like both Amanda and Mario and Emma were being like, yeah, what other stuff?
Oh yeah, we got answers, but it's not our turn, so.
Linnea to Chessa, same question.
And the question was, what problem am I hiding? What problem do I think I'm successfully hiding from everyone, but is actually completely obvious?
This is a hard question. I was like, you can't come up with something, Linnea, but now I'm like, This is a hard question. I feel like similar. I don't know. I feel like similarly, like a physical ailment or when like your body is not doing well. I'm thinking about a time in which your kidney was failing and you still wanted to come to rehearsal and we were like, no. And yeah, I think when you're having a clearly like your body needs for you to stop and you're like, no, I'm fine, I'll keep going. I think you have that tendency too, which is maybe something you said about me, but I feel like in that moment, I remember you like being just like sheet white and so like clearly that something was really wrong with you and you were, it was maybe for like some sort of rehearsal that you wanted to come to. And I remember just being like, your body is clearly shutting down. and then really later in the day, we're like, yeah, went to the hospital. My kidney is failing or I have a kidney infection or something. But I feel like that, yeah. But it was very obvious to everyone around you that you were like incredibly ill, but you still wanted to provide and keep just pressing on and be like, no, don't worry about it, it's fine. So I feel like, yeah, those things.
It was a struggle for you to get me to go to urgent care.
Yeah, it took multiple people.
What do you mean urgent care?
I think it took multiple of us being like, it's time to ask a doctor.
Wow, thank you everyone. Awesome. Yeah, the questions are getting tougher as we continue on with round 3. All right, Jasmine, this is for you to ask Amanda.
Okay.
Here we go.
Don't screw it up.
What is the angriest you've ever been at me?
Look, I don't identify with anger as an emotion. It can't.
Please, don't lie. No.
Okay, look, Jasmine, we gotta sort something out.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. This last summer, I tried to introduce you to the Great British Bake Off. And there's an episode, okay, for those of you who haven't watched Great British Bake Off, spoiler alert, plug your ears. There was an episode where the guy's ice cream didn't set up because somebody took it out of the fridge, and you accused the producers of manufacturing that circumstance. And
yeah, they did.
I refuse to accept it because that show is kind and loving and full of pastries, and it happened once in the whole history of Great British Bake Off, and I think it was a fluke, and I refuse to accept that accusation.
No, it's because the guy was Irish, and English people hate the Irish, and so they did it on purpose to make him look angry, because that's...
No, I refuse to accept that.
It's the truth.
Wow, and the drink. Okay, Amanda.
British Bake Off beef.
Yeah, British Bake Off beef, which I will let you know at Jet City. It's a hot take over here because we love it.
It's a hot take. I don't know how to take it.
I'm not here to have popular opinions.
We're here to win. We're here to make friends. We're not here to keep friendships. We're here to make money. Mario, pay out.
Okay, I can totally do that. Amanda.
Yeah, okay, Jasmine. I'm. What's the angriest you've ever been at me?
It's hard to pick one.
Hey, this is what I'm talking about. All right.
Okay, I think I know of one that I feel like if you brought it up, it would be legit.
Can you give me a little hint?
I don't want to give you a hint.
Give me a little hint.
We were living together at the time. It had to do with a book that you were very attached to. This is great. She's not mad about it, so it's good.
No, remind me of my anger. What book was it that I was attached to?
It was the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers.
And I got mad at you about it? Oh, I do remember. It was because the author made this is so Amanda. The author made this like reference to Othello, I think. And
Look, the author insinuated that Iago had no motive.
which like I think what the author was really trying to say was that the motive like wasn't valid because he was mistaken, but we did have a very heated debate about that.
We had a really, it almost destroyed us.
It was.
If you want details, you said this. Oh, you said that.
I think both of us were secure in our expertise in our various subject matters, and we came to our 19-year-old expertise, mine in Shakespeare and Jasmine's in serial murder. And we had a disagreement about whether or not a certain serial killer in Shakespeare had a motive. And, well, the real thing that I did was that I brought it to a public poll on Facebook.
I don't remember that.
Okay, great. So we're good.
So we're good. Oh, wow.
Is that a good story?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Jasmine, were you pretty pissed at Amanda?
It was mostly just frustrating because it was like you are so hung up on this stupid little Shakespeare detail, and it's like the more important thing is that this person like decided to, I can't remember which serial killer it was about, but it was like this person murdered people and you're upset about like Iago and a napkin or something.
In any particular circumstance, I'm usually upset about the wrong thing.
Fair.
I'll own that. I'll own that personality flaw.
So holy moly, y'all. That's the end of round 3. Cheers, everybody. Wow, awesome possum. And the Twitch is off the hook right now with folks being like, can confirm. This is happening. I need this book. Yeah, what's the book?
The book was a serial killer encyclopedia by Harold Schechter, I think. I can't actually remember specific. I'm pretty sure that was the author, but I'm not certain. But
Jasmine actually taught a class in serial killers when we were living together, very briefly.
Wait, what?
yeah.
What?
I assisted. Pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was at a place called the Puget Sound Community School, where the students get to choose which classes they want to take. So I did that for a semester, and it was really fun. So for a semester, I taught a class on serial killers to a bunch of high schoolers, and they were actually very respectful. They were really good. It was cool.
I mean, I feel like that should be a virtual thing that you offer.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think that.
Come to me, children. I will teach you.
Well, thank you, everyone. That's round 3 of the talk as we're getting into it. Now kind of on to round 4. We will, if I have, again, plenty of questions to ask you, but now we can kind of lean into the audience and to all of you in the Twitter, the Twitch and YouTube sphere. If you have any questions that you want me to ask these wonderful people, you can. So just put it in the chat. If not, I have questions for them as we kind of go. So let's see here. I mean, there was one that Sam Jean Coop said to both Linnea and Chessa at the beginning is, describe each other as a type or piece of luggage. There you go. So I don't know, Chessa, Linnea, which one? Who do you think would want to start off?
I'm just like, first thought is fanny pack.
Thank you. You've given me the best gift.
I couldn't tell you. I'm still working out the why, but my brain was just like immediately
Yeah.
fanny pack.
Immediately, I'm like a faux leather, not real leather, because you're ethical. But like a faux leather, like satchel that like has a bunch of like beading on it, and like it's sort of like this like nice soft like brownish like maroonish kind of like with these little details that are like I'm beautiful. That's you. That's you. You're a bunch of details that are like I'm beautiful.
I need to find my reason why you're a fanny pack, but I feel like also like a brightly colored, very like possibly sparkly.
Thank you.
Fanny pack.
Thank you. Yes.
I could see that.
You're fun. You're spunky. You're also very practical.
Yours is practical as well and fashionable in like a very like subtle like ochre way. I'm just like saying a bunch of subtle colors right now. Just like little details, little like beads here and there, and like so classy and good. That would be
Classy and good. Classy and good.
Classy.
Oh.
Classy.
Lanera, did you say what Chessa was this fabric? Wait.
Satchel.
Oh, satchel.
Yeah, you could see her with it, with her like her sandals and her like baggy pants and like her like glasses, like looking off into the distance. You can see it, you know.
I love that. Love that. Let's pull in both Amanda and Jasmine about what kind of luggage you think you both would be.
Okay, well, Amanda would be my like toiletries case. She would be buried in my suitcase, well protected, and she's got everything that I desperately cannot lose inside of her.
I love the confidence that you just had.
I know it.
You knew it, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
then I feel like we're kind of like a 1-2 combination, because my instinct for you was like, you are the like, I'm not going to name a brand, but like very high-end roller suitcase that has the like USB charging pack in it, and it's also very protected, so you can use that thing as a fucking weapon if you have to. So I feel like I'll be your toiletries kit, and you just be my like hard shell roll around suitcase, and that would be a beautiful pair.
Yep, perfect.
That sounds perfect. I love that. Wow, these questions in the Twitch are on fire.
Holy moly.
The first one is business, after drinking a little bit, business Salix said most awkward situation that y'all have put each other in. Or it says most awkward situation they have put you in. This is for the group, for all of us. What do you think? I don't know who wants to go first. Most awkward situation that your BFF has put you in. Amanda, it looks like you.
Amanda has an idea.
Amanda
Yes,
already kind of knows.
organically.
What?
This is an old story, okay? When we were like teenagers, Jasmine and I lived together, and I had like a period of time where maybe I had a hard time understanding that like just because I like something doesn't necessarily mean that Jasmine will like it too. And I really wanted to involve Jasmine in every aspect of my life. And I was in a show at the time where we needed a dead body.
Yeah.
And the dead body appeared on stage for about 2 seconds at the start of the play and remained in a box on stage for the duration of the play. So,
This is my only acting experience, by the way.
I recruited Jasmine to be the body. As the lights came up, the actors lifted her into a box and closed the lid, and then she spent the duration of the play in the box. At least one spider friend. While we did an entire play around her. I now recognize your humanity, Jasmine, and your value as a person, and I wouldn't put you in that situation.
No, put me in this. I loved that. That was so fun. I know it should probably have been awkward, but I just loved being involved.
That is real. That is real talk.
And then at the end, when they would open the lid of the box and I would pop out, the audience would have kind of forgotten that I was in there, and they'd be like, "Oh,
Great! Bonus, she wasn't really dead. Don't feel bad, she's okay."
That is pretty clutch. Jasmine,
Sorry,
again,
friend.
I mean, that is the funniest like thing to think about. Is like, hey, I need you to be a prop dead body, and for how long was the show?
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it, Mario. I literally recruited her to be a prop in that.
How long was the play? I just have to ask more questions now.
I think about an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It was Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. It was not a legal production.
Got it. I got it. Wow, that is pretty clutch. Jasmine, did you have anything for Amanda putting you in an awkward situation enough?
Maybe an awkward situation that I put Amanda in?
The most awkward situation Amanda has put you in.
Oh no, I already confessed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What awkward situations have they put you in?
Look, I'm not going to out you in front of all these people.
Well, okay, so I found myself in between abodes, right, in like middle of when lockdown was starting out. And Amanda let me stay at her place, even though she lives in a place that doesn't allow dogs. So I basically like put her, and I was like, I don't have anywhere to go. Please help me. And she was like, okay, we will do our best to hide your pit bull from my landlord who lives right upstairs. So she would have to like, when it was time to take my dog for a walk, she'd have to like peek out the door and make sure that he wasn't like, because he would play fetch with his dog right outside her front door.
Yeah, because he can have a dog.
Yeah, he can have a dog. Anyway, so that was probably pretty awkward. Thank you.
Not awkward in the least.
Yeah, that's sweet. That is so sweet. I will check that. That's really sweet that you had to hit a pit bull and y'all were.
Thanks for not locking me in a box for an hour 6 nights a week.
I'll do it.
Linnea and Chessa, have you been stewing over the question?
I also have an answer to the most awkward situation that I've put Chessa in, which is Chessa and her now fiance happened to be maybe falling in love at the time that I cast them together as lovers in the
We were there for this. This is real.
Can confirm But I do remember the time when we like had to practice that scene, and we were like at the point where it was like, okay, now like the kiss does have to like, we have to practice that. And I just like remember being in the rehearsal hall, and I was trying to keep my shit together. And I was like, what have I done to Chessa? Oh my god, and Jordan.
This is my impression of I'm sorry, I have to jump in here. This is my impression of Linnea trying to keep her shit together while I'm trying to like navigate feelings for my now fiance, who I was like trying not to have feelings for. This is my impression of Linnea trying to keep her cool. She was just like she was like overcome. She was so clearly stoked to be making us make out in this like very power dynamic driven situation.
I love that. It's just like, That's awesome. That's awesome.
I tried to keep it from. I was like, tried to wait as long as I could before being like, okay, we do have to rehearse this part.
Oh, you loved it. You were so excited.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
That's
Yeah, she's officiating the wedding, so she's not that sorry.
I love that. I love that. But just so you have anything for Linnea?
Awkward situations I've put Linnea in. I feel like many. I don't know. Linnea, can you think of things? I'm sure it's happened. I feel like it's definitely happened.
Which is why I went for the awkward situation that I put you in.
Which is the same awkward situation I was thinking that you put me in. But I feel like I've made you come to so many things that I didn't want to go to because I like knew I needed to go to them, but I needed someone else to also be uncomfortable with me in the like party or event that I had to go to.
Which was
so
great.
I feel like I did a lot of that.
So
So I feel like I did a lot of dragging you to things that I was like, neither of us want to be here, so I think both of us have to be. That made any sense.
That's real. I mean, that's friends right there. You know that's a real friend right there, right? Real talk.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I love that. That's awesome. Awesome. We got quite a few more questions, so I have a couple more for y'all. Again, this is the talk, y'all. We are here on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. We got the questions rolling in. Once again, we got a very, very lengthy question, but a good question from Page Pancake 7. This is for the whole group. Okay, so you can answer it together, or here we go. Please discuss words or phrases that your BFF pronounced or you used incorrectly until you had to break the news. For example, my BFF used to think blank meant roundabout. And then, of course, the end, but maybe that's just us. I don't know if you can see that. This is kind of Inception right now.
I wasn't prepared to see myself in this way.
that was bananas.
Little Inception here. Please discuss words or phrases that your BFF pronounced or used incorrectly until you had to break the news. Do you have any or anything rolling or something like that?
I don't have like a word or phrase that you like mispronounced, but like the story about you realizing that narwhals were real animals like sticks with me every day of my life. And also you did not believe them when they were like, no, they're real. You thought they were lying. You thought you were getting pranked. But like,
I was surrounded by a bunch of pranky people, and I was like, oh boy.
Wait, I have a question. No, wait, you didn't believe narwhals were real?
They're just like unicorns of the sea. It makes total sense.
Thank you, Amanda fucking Keogh.
You're welcome.
That's what I'm saying. Why would narwhals be real but unicorns not?
exactly.
Why are unicorns not real if narwhals are real?
That's what I'm saying.
Unicorns, speak up.
And also, sometimes I just imagine what might have gone through your mind to like realize someone was like, no, unicorns have been real this whole time. And you find out that unicorns are real? That's what happened for you, Chessa. That's fucking amazing.
I was really embarrassed about it at the time, but that makes it a lot more magical. But I just like all of a sudden something I thought was mythical.
It was real. Beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Anything else like coming up for anyone? Please discuss words or phrases that your BFF pronounced or used incorrectly until you had to break the news. And then Jasmine?
I really don't have any memories of that kind of incident with Jasmine.
When I was like 12, I thought that familiar was actually familiar with an R, and Amanda corrected me on that one. That's the only one that I can think of. I'm sure there are more, but...
Okay, First off, had no memory of that. Second, I don't remember what second was. I've had a lot of
First and second.
First and second, I don't remember that. I'm sorry that stuck with you.
Thank you. Like, because otherwise
And
I'd
I
probably
got
still
you.
be like, oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
That's adorable.
It's a good...
I'm sorry I beat that out of you. That's good.
I love how you just came in 12 years old. Like, dang, that's some receipts right there.
That's very 12-year-old Amanda.
On things that children thought were real, though. Not that I was a full-blown adult when the narwhal thing happened. But I like have a memory of Lynette thinking, no, you're gonna have to clarify this for me of like, you had a lot of things that you thought about like death and like going to hell that didn't happen, but I have a memory of you being like, I thought that if you farted, like the devil was going to be you. Like, what is the detail? But I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Not that if you didn't say "excuse me" after you farted, then God would punish you. That's the phrase.
There it is.
What the fuck?
And that's true, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. That is
He's not
true.
wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
I always, even if I had a silent fart, I would whisper to myself. I remember being in kindergarten lined up for my classroom and like farting silently and like going, "Excuse me," and then the person in front of me turning around being like, "Ah!" I'd be like,
Oh my gosh, imagine just like being in a line, you know, a queue to the bank or something, and someone behind you just whispers, "Excuse me," and then there's just this smell that just like rises.
I thought I was excusing myself.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Or can you imagine someone farting and then they don't say excuse me and then all of a sudden like lightning strikes them or something?
Oh my gosh.
That could have happened to me.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's a sketch. We're on the verge of a sketch. I mean, now that of course I've had a little bit, now we can talk about, we don't have to. It was like, who farts the most out of your friends?
Now we're finally getting to what
No,
we're here to
this
discuss.
is the main reason. No, we don't have to ask that. But I love that. Thank you, Paige Pancake said that was a great question. My goodness. Couple more. Just a few more, y'all.
Do it.
Couple more, y'all. From Mucus Loser.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
What's in
I've never heard that before in my life.
idiosyncrasy only you would notice about the other? That's a great question.
Idiosyncrasy. What does that mean?
I don't know. I gotta look that shit up. I don't know what idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy definition. That's way too funny. Here we go. A mode of behavior or way of thought particular to an individual.
It's unbelievable. That's what she does. She's so good at it. It's unbelievable. I love it. And I love it so much. You do just this thing with your hand and I love it.
You stop reality.
He like
Unbelievable.
closes her eyes for a second and then opens them really wide. It's so cute.
I knew that that's exactly the thing that you were going to talk about. Is the crazy thing. I knew that you were going to bring up the fact that I close my eyes and then open them really wide when I can't believe that something is happening or I need to emphatically talk about it.
Yes.
You have to have a private moment, and then you have to take it all in.
Yes.
I love that. Tessa, Amanda, Jasmine, any idiosyncrasies that only your best friend has?
Okay, so Jasmine went through a period of time. I don't know if this period of time persists, but the only number that she would enter on a microwave to cook something was 127. Just the number 127. And then she'd stop it early if she needed to, but she would just enter 127. And she said to me at some point, like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And now, anytime I encounter the number 127 in life, I have like a God is with us moment. And I mean, it's everywhere. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look for 127, the microwave number.
I will say that I also like use 127 as like my like number for like exaggerations. Like I always use that number as like
It exists in you because it's a heavenly number that was implanted in your brain.
we're synced.
I love
Look
that.
out for it, folks. 127.
Was there a meeting from the 120? Also, great from Hume_TDS, who is a amazing Jet City super fan. Can you hear me okay? I think my audio is sounds like it's a little bit of a talking tin can. Okay, good, yeah, good call. Thank you for looking out. Anyone else for like tendencies? Jasmine, do you have one for Amanda?
She almost always has like some kind of reference from either like classic literature or theater for almost any given situation. Does that count?
That absolutely counts. Can you give a little bit? Can you give me a little more?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like there's so many examples I can't think of a single one, but it's like it's pretty often that I'll be like, oh man, I tripped and broke all my eggs on the way home from the grocery store, and she's like, that reminds me of this play from like the first play ever written, where like anyway,
The Egg and the Jester.
Yeah,
that was a classic.
I love that, y'all. Too funny. I think we have one more, and I want to preface that I love this last question before we.
Hold on to this. We're at a tie right now. Winner takes all.
We are okay. We are keeping score. I love that. Did you have a specific moment where you did the friend quote "I love you" exchange, and what was that? Or when did you first feel it? This is from Sam Jean Coop. The I love you exchange. I don't know if you can read that. I'm not going to show you that.
I saw the words I love you.
Did you have a specific moment where you did the friend I love you exchange? And when was that? Or what was that? And when did you first feel it? You say that? Mm-hmm. Oh, please.
I don't know if this was the first time, but I remember driving with Chessa to I think a festival that she was working, and we were just driving and giggling a lot, and then Chessa said something, and then we laughed a lot, and then I sighed, and I was like, I can't wait to raise your children, and that was
what?
That's normal.
The phrase was,
oh,
I can't wait for you to raise my children.
That's really different.
It's a really different sentiment. Oh boy.
Yes, you're so right. That was the moment.
I can't wait to raise your children. I
can't wait for you to raise my children.
It's kind of a chore, Hey, here's an errand. I need you to raise my children. You're like, where are you going? Where are you going right now?
Oh, see, I was thinking of, when I moved to Seattle into the tiny apartment that I lived in with two people in the skull, and I was having a hard time, and there was just for no reason a little card on the table that was just Chessa, you're loved, you're great, you're having a great time, you're gonna be fine, don't worry about it. And then there was a snack on the table, and I just remember being this is a human that is gonna be in my life forever, just for no reason. Which I feel is the type of person that is to just make people's lives better for no reason. And and I also can't wait to raise her children.
Yeah. You got to get married.
I can't wait for you to raise all of our children.
Let's be real. I'm going to be the person that raises our friend group's children. I understand that that's my role. I'm cool with it. I feel like it's fine.
Let it wash over you.
I love that. Amanda, Jasmine, did you have a specific moment where you did the friend I love you exchange? And what was that, or when did you first feel it?
I mean, we're looking at a 20-year period here.
It's a little difficult. I can remember one time when me and Amanda were just hanging out watching TV or something, and she was had this little evil chuckle to herself, and she was like, when it's time for you to get engaged, you need to have your fiance talk to me because I know the perfect way to propose to you. But I'm not going to tell you what it is because it needs to be a surprise. And then I asked her years later because I was like, I'm probably never going to get married. I say in the room with my fiance right now, but I was like, you got to tell me like what it, and she's like, I can't remember. So I don't know.
I definitely still know.
Okay, I guess can tell the fiance in the room.
Too late. She's already in Ireland. They're stuck together now.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do?
Amanda, do you have anything popping up for you?
I think that I knew that you were the one the first time you gave me a mug full of hot buttered cornflakes.
Yeah, girl.
We've never just had a mug of cornflakes with butter on them. You've never known what.
Butter on it. You gotta like fry them in a frying pan with butter till they get all toasty.
Girl,
That's love right there.
that's love. Loving a mug.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of said it all, which is, any mutual love interests. I mean, you probably... Oh, wow. What a hot take. That's a final question. I don't know if any mutual love interests that you're like, wow, that could, again, tedious to tidious, pulling in a curveball. That's the Twitter. Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Like, do you mean mutual people that we had love interest in?
I mein,
Is that the
it's
question?
purposefully vague. Any mutual love interests. I don't know. And how I took it was like, do you like to cook pasta? I love that too. I wasn't
that
like,
definitely is the wrong way to take it, Maria.
okay, I took it very appropriately. Okay.
In a really nice way.
Wow, I did not. Okay, well, how would you take it?
I mean, can we all, and I don't just mean Jasmine, can we all agree that Patrick Stewart is bae?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Yes. We just finished Voyager literally yesterday, and I have to say,
Janeway.
Janeway,
I'm watching it right
all the
now.
way. In terms of romance, in terms of captain skills.
In terms of Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also in terms of like hair coiffedness.
Although I just finished I'm almost done with DS9, and Cisco is my man,
Linnea, I'm sorry, but I have to call you out at the end of this thing. Remember when you said that DS9 was objectively the worst series of Star Trek?
I had never watched it before.
You were wrong. Okay, now that we've established,
I'm saying that it was the first one.
diffused the energy a little bit.
By just revealing that we were all Star Trek nerds.
Well, I do like Star Trek, but I am a Star Wars fan.
You have to choose one,
Really? Wow. Wow.
or we'll never speak to you again.
Stop. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What are we doing? I don't know.
That
Question or
was our last question as we kind of making happen here.
that it's all mutually Star Trek.
It's mutually Star Trek, right?
Everybody, live long and prosper.
Actually, let us also Odessa, our broadcaster, again.
Yes.
I also want to thank everyone on the Twitch chat for being here, making things happen. And again, I just want to thank you all for being here, for taking the time, particularly Jasmine from Ireland. My goodness, I can't believe you took the time to be here. And I'm just so thankful. Yeah, I'm just thankful that you're here. And I had the opportunity to have a nice little conversation. I think I've learned a lot about you, and time to get a little #real, but having good friends and best friends during this time is really important. And sometimes I know that you've had to lean on each other. So keep leaning on your friends. Leaning on your friends that you might not know might be actually your best friend and even a good friend. I know, at least during the pandemic for me, there's been some real friends. I'm like, dang, I don't even know that you're even my real friend. So I'm just really thankful for that. Again, check us out on jetcityimprov.org. On our Twitch, we have shows coming up every month. So please, if you feel inclined to support local theater, support all the things that we're doing. As vaccinations are coming down the line, please support us. And before I go, I want Chessa and Linnea, and then of course Amanda and Jasmine, to do any shout outs or any shows that are coming up or anything that you wanted to kind of give us love about or stuff that maybe you want to plug.
Yes. I work for the State Arts Commission. If you are a nonprofit who needs money, let me know. That's it.
I'm currently in training to become a mental health counselor. If you need help, go get it.
Yes! Hey, really?
Not for me, I'm not licensed, but someone who is.
But she does start a lot of sentences with "as a therapist."
As a therapist,
And I trust her to therapize me for sure.
and I will, and I do. But only you.
And I like it. Linnea and I have a podcast that is stories from people who are women or non-binary people called She Is Fierce Stories. You can find
You can
it.
support them on Patreon. I'm a patron.
Can. Amanda is a very, very loyal, wonderful, beautiful patron.
We release episodes if we have time.
Sometimes, yeah.
When we feel like it.
In the future.
Yes.
I love that. Well, please support local theater, support the arts, and take care. And until next time, have those awkward and fun conversations. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.